The funeral was a spectacle of wealth and hypocrisy. Marble pillars gleamed beneath the cold winter sun, luxury cars lined the street like trophies of power, and mourners in designer black whispered rehearsed sadness. Cameras flashed, journalists hovered like flies around a feast. Everyone wanted a piece of the tragedy. Richard Holloway, billionaire, philanthropist, the man who saved the poor, the man whose name was carved into hospitals, orphanages, and museums. His death was mourned by presidents and praised by the press. To the world, he was a saint draped in a suit. But as the priest raised his hand to bless the casket, a frail figure stumbled into view. A black woman, skin roughened by sun and time, clothes torn, shoes missing. She looked like she had walked through every forgotten street in the city just to get here. Gasps rippled through the crowd. She didn't belong among them, not in this world of marble and money. "Stop!" Her voice cracked through the silence like breaking glass. The priest froze. The cameras turned. Murmurs spread like wildfire. "You can't bury him," she said, trembling. "She's not dead." Confusion rippled through the mourners. "What is she talking about?" someone whispered. Guards moved closer, but the woman clutched a silver locket to her chest and stood her ground. "You all think you know who he was," she said, voice raw, shaking. "But you have no idea what he did to us." The priest looked at the widow, who sat pale and frozen. Reporters' hands hovered over their microphones. The air thickened with unease. The woman stepped closer to the casket. Her hand hovered over the polished wood, shaking. "You buried the wrong truth," she whispered. The cameras caught everything, her defiance, their discomfort. And before the guards dragged her away, she screamed 3 words that silenced the entire cemetery. "She's not dead!" The widow fainted. The crowd erupted. And somewhere between confusion and fear, the story of Richard Holloway's perfect legacy began to unravel. If this story already has your heart racing, make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss what happens next. Her name was Marianne Price. Before the streets, before the scars, she had a name, a home, a sister, Lena. Lena worked as a maid in Richard Holloway's estate 20 years ago. Young, bright, soft-spoken, she dreamed of saving enough money to send Marianne to college. Holloway was a god in the city back then. Charitable, charming, untouchable. His house was a fortress of marble and fear. Marianne remembered the last time she saw her sister alive. Lena had been quiet that day, nervous. "He's not who you think he is," Lena had whispered. "If anything happens to me, don't believe what they say." The next morning, Lena was gone. They said she drowned herself in the river behind Holloway's property. The papers called it a tragedy. The police called it suicide. But Marianne knew. Her sister was terrified, not broken. For years, she tried to get answers. She wrote letters, begged reporters, even stood outside Holloway's offices with a cardboard sign that said, "Justice for Lena." No one listened. The world didn't care about a black girl's grief when a white billionaire smiled for the cameras. Then, months ago, Marianne found something in an old pawn shop. A silver locket engraved with Lena's initials. Inside was a photo of the sisters, and on the back, carved faintly with a pin, were 3 words. "She's not dead." The same words she screamed at the funeral. The video of the funeral went viral within hours. Homeless woman crashes billionaire funeral. Millions watched, argued, mocked. Some called her insane, others called her brave. But one person didn't laugh, Detective Aaron Miles, who had worked on Holloway's charity fraud cases years before. Something about her words haunted him. He reopened Lena Price's file. Case closed. Suicide by drowning. Evidence, none recovered. Autopsy, skipped. Why? At the family's request. That family being Richard Holloway's legal team. The deeper Miles dug, the darker the truth became. Holloway's philanthropy was built on exploitation, land taken from black communities under his housing projects, donations that never reached their supposed recipients, and silence bought with fear. And among those silenced, the household staff, most of them black, most of them gone. Then something chilling surfaced. Security tapes from the night Lena died. The footage was grainy, but clear enough. A young woman running through the garden, chased by a man in a suit. Seconds later, a gunshot. The next frame showed Holloway himself, standing at the edge of the river, staring down at the water. The file had been erased from official archives, but the backup remained in an old storage drive. Detective Miles sent it anonymously to every major news network. The world stopped. By morning, Holloway's image was ashes. Every news channel replayed the footage, the saint revealed as a predator, the philanthropist as a murderer. His foundations were raided, his partners investigated, his name stripped from every building that once bore it. The widow disappeared from public life. The family issued a statement denying everything. But denial couldn't silence the truth. Not this time. And Marianne? She watched it all unfold from the shelter where she slept. She didn't smile, didn't cry, just whispered to the air, "I told you, Lena, you're not dead anymore." A week later, a journalist found her sitting at the edge of the same river where Lena had been buried. He asked, "How does it feel to finally be heard?" She looked up. "Justice isn't about being heard," she said quietly. "It's about them remembering what they tried to forget." She took off the locket and threw it into the river. The silver flashed once, then vanished beneath the water. The same water that once hid a body, now washing away a lie. Months passed. A documentary aired about the Holloway scandal. People called Marianne a hero, a symbol of resilience, but she refused every interview, every offer. One night, a knock came on her shelter's door. Detective Miles stood there. "We found her," he said. Lena's remains had been discovered in a sealed section of Holloway's estate during demolition. Her locket was gone, but around her wrist was a ribbon, still intact, embroidered with one word: hope. Marianne broke down for the first time in years. She didn't scream or curse, just wept quietly, holding her sister's memory like something holy. At Lena's real funeral, a small, humble gathering, there were no cameras, no marble pillars, no gold caskets, just two names side by side on a wooden cross. When the priest finished, Marianne looked up at the sky and whispered, "She's not dead. She's finally free." Some truths take years to surface, some voices decades to be heard. But when truth rises, it drowns every lie trying to bury it. If this story moved you, subscribe to the channel for more real, raw stories that remind the world silence has a price, and truth never stays buried forever.